afternoon, and welcome to another Super Secret Project sketch. This is Eric Whalen from Super Secret Project X. And on this fine rainy day, I know, right? I felt like drawing Jessica Rabbit, and but I wanted to draw one of her alternate versions. I wanted to do that nurse. Nothing to do with what's going on and worshiping nurses or whatever. I just, thought she was awesome. And so I was looking through, and of course somebody did art of Jessica Rabbit and Hello Nurse from Animaniacs, and I'm like, well, forget it, I'm doing Hello Nurse. Are you watching Facebook and all that?
Yes, I'm at least having Facebook up, yeah.
Hopefully we got our sketch, our chat stuff on the sketch today working better. Me and my words working out good. Alright, so I'm gonna do the thing with the chick. Blah blah blah. Hello nurse.
Gotta get that out of for obligatory reasons.
What the what now?
They had to get that out for obligatory reasons, so.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear the nice thundering sound behind us. We had a nice.
And hopefully we don't have like a lightning strike or something.
That'll make it exciting.
What now?
That'll make it exciting.
Oh yeah. Alright, we're gonna do the thing. The thing with the chick.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get back into watching Animaniacs again because that and Tiny Toons are on Hulu now. So I've been wanting to rewatch because that's one of my favorite shows just to watch. And they're going to be doing a new Animaniacs coming up soon with with the original actors and stuff. So
Yeah, good.
that's good news for that. Yeah, I've seen just like a couple of quick promo shots from it, and it looks like they're keeping the spirit of the original designs and
They should.
and
There's no point in changing things if there's no point in changing things.
oh yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it's like how it's like when they did the Looney Tunes show, there was a dramatic
Sure.
character redesign and all, and the show still turned out to be really good. It's just that
Yeah.
a lot of people were just very wary because of character shifts and everything like that.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm neither for or against it. I am for whatever works, and I'm not for changes if changes aren't necessary, and I'm not for keeping old stuff if maybe something new will work better. I'm just for whatever works.
Yeah. And the new Looney Tunes shorts that are coming out on HBO Max later on actually in about a week. Those look really good. Definitely they're going back to the old Bob Clampett stuff, and Bugs Bunny has the yellow gloves, and it's not Fat Elmer Fudd, but it's Elmer Fudd with like the with a shiny nose. And
The big red one. Did they make it red?
Yeah, I think they did
Good.
actually. Yeah, or a little bit, but yeah, he has the shiny spots on his head and all that.
Oh, good.
There was a great shot I saw. I saw a clip of the Roadrunner and Coyote ones, and they those at least to me feel a little stiff, but it's still keeping in the spirit of the cartoon. The clip that I saw was actually pretty funny. There was Roadrunner coming through, and of course Coyote's trying to get him, and he does the paint the rock like the tunnel trick, and he literally cuts the road like with scissors, snip, and drags the road over
Sure.
into a giant boulder, paints the boulder to look like a tunnel, and then goes and hides, and Roadrunner comes through, meep, meep, and runs into the tunnel, of course. And this is what cracked me up. Coyote kind of stares in front of the boulder, and actually walks into the boulder, and he stops. He's looking. He's like, Summer's like, wait, what? And then the kicker is when he tried to go back out, he couldn't get back out, so he's like banging on this invisible
Nice.
wall.
Nice. Well, it's really funny and I think it's a lot of it's like every fandom. People don't want stuff to typically change,
Right.
and you can get it with Bugs Bunny, you can get it with Dragon Ball Z. The diehards are just gonna want the thing, and so it's like I look at it this way: I've already seen Wile E. Coyote do all the old tricks. I've already seen all that stuff, and I ain't getting rid of it. Those are some of my favorite shows, but I've seen it. So the new stuff, if it's just repeating the old stuff, I'm gonna go watch the old stuff. So I need them to do new stuff, and that sometimes requires some change.
Yeah, let's see, did I save it on here or is it somewhere else? I have to check and see. I think it's on my phone. Oh no, here it is. I just love this screenshot of the coyote.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fiendish.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I could see getting into that. And this is going to sound absolutely juvenile. I wanted a not typical shot of. It is Hello Nurse, right?
Yes,
So,
she is Hello Nurse.
okay, it's what I figured. I thought maybe it possibly wasn't. I literally looked at the shot when I chose this shot of her. I know it's super tiny on the screen there. Because firstly, it's awesome, but two, her knockers are out of control. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that like they are like Looney Tunes out of control, and I just saw that and I'm like, that's the one. That'll be fun to do. That'll be ridiculous. I could go in and try to learn from that because it's hilarious. It's funny. I found one guy. I cannot remember his name. He's a British guy. He does manga characters and stuff, and he's got a real thick British accent, and he's actually very good. And he does tutorials for that sort. But he does tutorials that are both common and naughty. And so he just goes in while being very proper and British and all that, and talking about the boobs. And it's really funny because he's really doing a great job. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's doing a great job, and just hilarious because he's so proper while talking about the big meaty chicks and blah 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 and
Like to say, being all nice and British while discussing badoingas.
yeah, and it's what I was laughing at because he's trying to be a combination of mildly inappropriate all the way up to the point before it really gets rude, and then he stops. So he's nice and dry and British and funny, and all of his anime girls are, which is funny because he's actually drawing them meatier than what the Japanese typically do. And I saw some of his stuff where he isn't, but I mean, real big thick thighs, yada yada. It's stuff the Japanese typically doesn't do,
Right.
and just funny. I mean, he's going in there and he's doing like the I just kept having the Futurama line in my head where they're in the head museum with all the presidents, and I think it was Gerald R. Ford turns to Leela and says, "So I'd like to apologize for Mr. Clinton. He always gets that way around meaty women." I couldn't handle it. I just was listening the whole time, and I'm hearing this Futurama line just echo in my head over and over. Meaty women.
Well, the Brits, they like their badoingas. I mean, heck, Benny Hill and Monty Python showed us that.
The funny thing about this guy is he was legitimately going in and doing really nice instructional videos, step by step, of how he does it. He does it similar to me, except that he uses a cheaper pencil and he uses printer paper, and he goes through all this is what you do with cheap printer paper to make the sketch really nice, and this is what you do with a cheap pencil to make it really nice. And then the guy's good. I'd actually hate to take him on in a straight, like, I think I could probably out illustrate him, but in a straight like this, I was watching him. He was good. I was just going like, oh, right on, man. You got me. you probably would win in a sketch contest. I probably could not beat you because he was. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch some more of his videos because I thought that he did a real fun job. Well, and the thing was, is I was actually kind of going like, man, dude, you're really into the meaty chicks, and you don't normally see that. And his style is really great. And I'm not going to say you can't tell the difference between his and a typical manga artist from Japan or whatever, but he was good. I was just like, except that there was like that difference. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I just kept hearing Gerald R. Ford in my head. I'd like to apologize. He gets that way around meaty women.
Hi, Carissa. She's watching with us.
Oh, hey, Carissa, how's it going? We're doing Hello Nurse today. Well, talking about
Badongas.
apparently Bedoingas. Which I'll just be real honest with you. I'm sick and tired of people still trying to make fun of people drawing Bedoingas, because I still get people from time to time going like, "Ooh," and I'm going like, "What are you, 3?"
Yes.
I mean, come on now. I mean, you get a half-naked muscle dude. That to me is, you see his Bedoingas, except they're meaty instead of jiggly. To me, it's the same thing. I'm just like, who cares, And I was at work, and finally some of the artists just stepped forward, and one of them being a lady. She's a little older than me, and she goes like, "This is just fantasy stuff. Why are people reacting like this?" I'm like, to me, it's just cartoons and fantasy stuff, and it's like people haven't seen this stuff before.
Because genitals are apparently from the devil.
Nipples are Satan's work or something. I don't know. To me, I'm just like, it's just fun. Like, well, why are you drawing them so big? Because big round shapes are fun. That's it, honestly. It's like butts, big round shapes are fun. Pecs, big round shapes are fun. It's eyeballs, big round shapes are fun. I don't know what else to say.
The song from Bob's Burgers, the butt song, that just cracks me up. Just this do 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 butts 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 are beautiful, butts are beautiful, butts butts.
Awesome. Butts are beautiful, butts are...
It's just great, just slow kind of drone, like just great slow droning song. Butts are beautiful, butts are. It's like on Bob's Burgers, the oldest daughter, just loves butts. I think it was, I hadn't seen the episode, but I saw the clip of that, and
Nice.
I was cracking up laughing pretty good.
Isn't she the same voice actress that does Mabel Pines?
That's the youngest daughter.
That's the young. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the one with the glasses, not the
Yeah.
one with the bunny ears.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the oldest daughter, I think, is done by voiced by a dude.
Really?
Yeah, as is
Right
the
on.
mom, so.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. They can't do that. They should have found a manly sounding woman to do that job. No, they should have just done whatever was funny.
Bobby.
It's a guy, really? I just thought it was sort of a nasally sort of not duty,
If I'm not
dudeish.
mistaken, I think I saw the voice actor. I think it's like, one of the dudes on the show or something. Let's find out. Let's see. Yeah, this would be the part if Jim was in, he would be able to tell us because he loves that show. Alright. Cast. Bob's Burgers, characters. Oh, my bad. It is a lady. I thought
Oh,
it
okay. I
a
was
dude.
about to say, I thought it sounded like a lady.
Kristen Shaw.
I thought there was a vagina in there somewhere.
Kristen Shaw. Yeah, I thought it was a dude. Because the way her voice is, I'm like, that's a dude. Let's see. But yeah, Tina Belcher. That is a dude. Dan Mintz. Wait. Nope. I want to say I'm right. Linda Belcher, John Roberts. I want to say I'm right. Hold on. Let me find the actual character list here. Excuse me.
Nasty.
Yeah, you like it.
Nasty. I do. I do.
Yeah, Bob, his wife Linda. Let's see. The characters. Bob Belcher, H. John Benjamin, Linda Belcher. It is a dude, yeah. Yeah, John Roberts. Ha! I was right.
Yeah, there you go. Right on.
Why did you take me all the way up like that? Like, give me. Let's see. Tina Belcher, Dan Mintz, Gene the son, Eugene Merman, and Louise Belcher, Christian Shaw. Yeah, which she has done. Yeah, she was. Yep, she was Mabel, and pretty much.
I just
stuff.
just listened to some of her stand up the other day. She's quite funny.
Yeah, she is.
She is one of, and I'm not going to do the whole male stand-up comedians are funny than female. I'm not going to do that. That's not fair. It's just that I think there's way more guys doing it, so it seems that way.
Yeah, it is.
And with her, she's got this great shtick because of that voice. And it's Mabel Pines up there just saying the craziest stuff. She's really funny. She's quickly just becoming one of my favorite voices because that really is her voice.
I know she was on. She's been on other stuff. 'Cause like when she pops up, it's like you instantly know it's her. But no, I'm blanking on the stuff that she's been
Well,
on.
what's nice is her comedy is kind of raunchy, which is funny. So that mixed with her voice, and I think she's cute, but she's a little
She's quirky.
yeah, she's a little quirky looking. I think she's attractive, but she's quirky looking. She's not default standard chick looking.
She's not Hollywood pretty.
Yeah, she has character.
Yeah,
She has
she's
goofy character, which is awesome.
She's just normal girl pretty.
I hate that definition of there just being one pretty. I just do not agree with it. I don't like that idea because I've bumped into people where I'm like, well, you're a little homely, but you're also kind of oddly attractive because of it. And what's wrong with finding people that's a little off kilter or a little strange attractive? I mean, frankly, look at me. I'm not, I ain't Hollywood looking. I'm not even lumberjack looking. I don't know what I am. But,
I thought you were cute.
well, yeah, well, exactly right. But I'm saying, am I cute like, I don't know, pick a Hollywood guy? No, I'm not.
But it depends on the Hollywood guy.
Yeah, but most of them,
Slappy squirrel. You remind me of a young Wilma Flintstone.
thank you.
I just did a Slappy squirrel when she compares like various people to like weird Hollywood cartoon celebrities. That's what the conversation reminded me of.
Yes. I love this. I actually didn't make the chest big enough. That is amazing. That is amazing.
It's funny with
Okay, Steven Spielberg, I'll make him bigger.
with Animaniacs. If I remember, there wasn't really much of her getting hit on from many other characters. Buffering.
That's fine.
Yeah, but
It
still,
happens.
Facebook is still going though.
That's fine. Don't
There
worry
we
about
go.
it, sweetie.
But
We can't
and
control it.
she was getting hit on more by Yakko and Wacko than any of the other characters.
Sure.
Yeah, I think if you did was Minerva Mink from this one from one of the
Oh yeah,
Simon,
she was a cute character,
Yeah.
wasn't she?
you're gonna get swamped with people probably.
Well,
Yeah.
put her on the list. I have no problem. I always liked that character. I just can't remember all the characters I've ever seen. I wish I could.
And with Minerva Mink, it was funny because people were saying that she was almost a ripoff from another character from this. There's this artist by the name of last name of Schwartz. I'm blanking, but he did his own comic for years, like at least 10, 15, 20 years, called Sabrina, which was an anthro comic about this nerdy skunk girl and her.
That sounds real familiar.
Yeah, I think I've shown you
Yeah,
some
I
of
think you have.
yeah, some of her stuff, and she was looking to be a basically an IT person, and ends up being the IT and tech and computer person for a porn studio.
Nice.
But with Minerva Mink, before she came into existence, there was like the Sabrina comic. There was a squirrel character, Amy Squirrel, who Minerva Mink looks a lot like her, and so people were. Was it Amy Squirrel? I know it was a squirrel character. I'm blanking if it's Amy or not. But a lot of people were kind of going like, wait a minute, did this guy, the character designers, rip the squirrel character off and made Minerva, because they really did look pretty similar.
Well, it's also entirely possible that both of them had inspirations off of similar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not everything is as original as everyone wants it to be, you know, and it's just like, well, sometimes it's like, well, I based this off of Charlie Brown. The other guy's like, well, I based this off of Charlie Brown. Well, guess what? They're going to look pretty similar.
Oh, I get you, and I completely agree. But the similarities were almost uncanny. The fact that they both, like, almost the only difference was one was a brown squirrel and Minerva is a white minx. Or minx. So it's like, I could see the similarities, but I'm saying, like I said, possibility that
Yeah.
it was an inspiration and all that, or like you said, it could have been the energy put out into the ether, and
Yeah.
they both, because like you said, it happens.
Yeah, zeitgeist. Sometimes just the stuff just, develops that way.
Right. I mean, I've done stuff.
Sometimes things are ripped off.
Yeah, I mean, I've done stuff where I'm just like, yeah, I got this idea, blah blah blah, and like within a week or so, somebody else has put the idea
Yep.
out, and I'm just like, son of a gun.
Dang it! What the heck?
And we used to, when I worked at the comic shop, we used to joke about there being taps in there from Warner Brothers and all that, because it seemed like whenever we talk about something, like an idea of something, it would come out from one of the big
Yep.
studios. Like, wait a minute.
There's actually a word for it. Zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not a new thing.
Mhm.
Yes, thank the Germans for that one.
Mhm.
I think it's like over 100 years old too. I think that's an old term.
That's probably. Yeah, but with Minerva Mink though, but yeah, her character always cracked me up. They got away with so much with her character. Oh my gosh, both in the show and in the comics. And
I remember her being kind of like,
naughty.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a I mean, they did the whole like. What was that? When the nerdy werewolf kept trying to ask her out, and she
Mhm.
just kept kicking him to the curb, and then finally when the full moon came, he was like one of those buff Harlequin
Yep.
romance cover guys. And
Oh, I can wait.
um,
And I'm going like, you're a hideous person, Minerva Mink.
in the comic, there was there's the one beagle that they brought over from the show. From Animaniacs that was always hounding and trying to catch her and all that, the hunting beagle. But she would always mess with him and flirt with him, and he would go stupid and get away. And in the comic, it was one part where he had finally caught her, and so she does the whole pouty on her knees with her arms out. Are you gonna tie me up? And he just completely loses it. Does the whole like classic Tex Avery Wolf thing, like stomping his feet. But I was just like, all right.
See that's funny. I hated the fact that American animation felt like it got neutered at one point. I hate that. I'm like, that stuff is fun. It's not dangerous. It's not obscene. Is it juvenile? Sure, why not? I don't care. It's fun.
Which is why Animaniacs, I think, was able to do that, and they got away with that. 'Cause they did a lot of stuff. I mean, heck, the fingerprints joke is always going to be one of my favorites. I can't believe they allowed that to get through jokes. Well, and even the writers themselves were just like, yeah, we were surprised that got through also.
Well, like one of my favorite ones was they had they did the MTV host character, and she's with the microphone, and she's at these big boobs, and they're just going everywhere. And when I was 14 or whatever I was when that came out, I was just sitting there watching, going like, "Wow!" I'm like, that. So what? It was funny. Well, why? And I'm not saying let's do it all the time. I'm just saying I thought it was funny that you only had little moments like that. I kind of feel as if there should have been a character from time to time that they could have like pulled that gag out when it was really funny, like Owen with fart jokes, when it was really funny,
They did. I mean, I think they had a couple of ones with her when they did the musical episodes. Yeah, that was the parody of Julie Brown from MTV. It was Julie Bruin. She was the bigger character.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah, the one there was the when they did the opening with her, and it was just her silhouette. That was, I think we were talking about, she was dancing, but it was her silhouette, and you could just see her boobs just switching back and forth.
and it was funny. That's the one thing that I'm so sick of. Like, the people that automatically walk in and just start judging. Well, anime with the boobs, and I just go like, so what?
Yeah, she was.
So what?
Yeah.
Who cares? Is it fun? Stop being a doofus. Just let people have fun.
And I can. The thing is, I can see where people are coming from.
If it's going too far, sure.
With people stepping in and doing the whole objectification. Yeah, blah, blah.
Yeah, if it's going too far, sure. But most of the time, it's just people having fun, and it's not hurting anything. And you want to balance it out. Put dude stuff in there like that too. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Sometimes it can be really, really funny. So good, just do it. Worry about crafting a good joke and a story and a good time, and stop worrying about people's hang-ups, because they're gonna have them no matter what you do.
I think one of my other favorite, I can't believe they got through with it, was this was on Tiny Toons, and Julie Bruin was Tiny Toons also. The episode where Babs Bunny, Shirley Loon, and the skunk girl, crap, what is her name? Fifi. Yeah, Fifi Le Fume. Decided that the Looniversity boys were too immature, so they decided to make themselves older and go to a college party, and wanted to be more mature. And so you had these three, teenage, like what, lower or upper?
I thought they were like high elementary, junior high.
Yeah, junior high type kids or kid characters, in like makeup and high heels. And
I remember that.
See-through dresses, and and they're trying to hit on college dudes. I was like, wow. That one, and the one where actually was it Buster who died? They actually did a drunk driving episode, and I
remember that too.
Yeah, I only saw that one once. I think they only let it play once, but apparently, they actually got drunk and were driving, and they had a car accident and they died. But then they come up, okay, kids, this isn't right. Don't do this kind of PSA and all that. But
Sure.
I was like, wow, they
They killed him.
Yeah. Like, dude, they're literally like doing a whole stumbling drunk with like bottles in their hands, and I was like, wait, these are teenagers. Like, I'm impressed.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is a lot of people just immediately get hung up on a detail, and it's like they're not real. None of this stuff is real. It's just stories and ideas to get points across or to have laughs. So it's like, can you kill off a character in a cartoon? Obviously. It's not going to scar children's minds. And if it is scarring their mind, then that kid might need to get a scar because they're really protected.
Well, like I said, it depends, because, I mean, growing up, all the stories I've heard of people who were affected by Bambi's mom dying or Simba, Mufasa dying in Lion King and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that affected a lot of kids. And I mean, even
And it was supposed to, by design.
Yeah.
That it did its job.
Sorry, pardon.
It's all right. We're about it. People have a problem with that, they need to take a long, hard look at themselves.
But yeah, they had good stuff in those cartoons. I see that, and I think some of my favorite just silly moments in the Animaniacs, with naughty jokes. Oh, when they when they went to clean, they were being chimney cleaners or chimney sweeps, and they went to clean out Beethoven's chimney, and they're like, well, so what do you do? I'm a pianist. Say that again? Pianist. Wait a minute, what? I'm a pianist. And they like shove a bar of soap in his mouth. That's enough out of you, Mr. Potty Mouth. Yeah, they were some of the the voice actors when they were on the podcast. They were talking about a lot of the jokes, and then there were some of the writers that came on, like like Tom Ruger, one of the producers and writers for a lot of the Warner Brothers shows like that. Yeah, he was just like, yeah, he's like, we were just having fun, and if it got through, cool.
Well, honestly, that's how it should be. I mean, people that come up with too many rules and try to censor stuff always end up looking like hypocrites somehow. The creatives will always slip something through where you go like, how did that get through? That they couldn't say, but that got through? It always sounds weird. Every single time you're like, what? Why was that a problem when that wasn't a problem? They just sound like whack jobs.
It depends on who's working that day.
It kind of does, right?
I know there's probably been people who've done it, but I would just love to see either like get a nice book out or a documentary or a podcast or something talking about censorship in cartoons and
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
the standards and practices, fights and all that. I would instead have people from various animated properties coming on talking about the stuff that they did or they couldn't do, or I think that'd be a really interesting conversation to have.
Well, that'd make a fascinating, just even like documentary kind of thing. Because you just end up going like, because who would look crazy? Wouldn't be the creators, would it? It would always be like the standards and practices people where you're like, what? You were doing what? That was a problem? Okay, no, I can see that. They were throwing Molotov cocktails at kindergartners. That's probably a problem. But that, yeah, crazy sound and whack. What do you do to become a standards and practices person? I'm fairly certain there's some kind of cult involved. I'm serious. It's like,
I I would love to say they've probably loosened up quite a bit over like since we were uh, since we were younger and stuff. Because by a lot looks on a lot of cartoons and stuff nowadays, a lot of the stuff that they said that they couldn't show now or couldn't show then, they're now showing now. So.
Sure, but the fact that it okay now I'm not going to say happens at all, but happens at all. You know, it's like it should be so blatantly obvious. Like I've seen some stuff out of Japan where you're like, whoa. I mean, that's the only word I can use where you just go like, somebody animated that. You're like, holy crap. So to me, it's like really obvious.
Well, it's and you know this. It's the cultural differences and.
Sure, but the stuff over here, you're like, they care about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's how they've been over in a culture all this time. And I mean, and on the even with that, I mean, yeah, we can like look over and like, oh man, yeah, somebody animated that. But on the same note, it's like, man, somebody has some messed up thoughts.
That was my exact
okay,
point.
Gotcha. Well, say, but on the
Yeah, I'm not sure what else that would have meant.
I was going on the flip side there. It's like even with that, it's like their attitude to a lot of stuff is like they're so repressed with a lot of stuff. So it's like.
But my point is inverse. Is it's obvious when people go like, whoa, no, whoa, okay, look, I've seen some things where you're just sat there and went, I'm a 20, 30, 40-year-old guy, and I'm like, what? You're like, wow, okay, somebody thought that was a good idea. But then I hear stuff over here where I'm like, they care about that? Yeah. Like, honestly? It's a 4-letter word. Okay. Crud is a hardcore swear word. Okay, standards and practices.
Again, I think with a lot of stuff they have loosened up.
I hope so. I hope so, because it really looked like mental illness for so long.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean they've loosened up. I want to say, I mean, we're getting cartoons. I mean, for the longest time, you couldn't say kill on
Which
TV.
made no sense. I'll destroy him. What's the difference?
Destroy is not nearly as hardcore as kill.
Not really. It's really the same thing. It's
from a etymology point and from an actual language study point. Yeah.
okay.
No, I'm saying word wise, yes, they are similar, but from a psychological point put into a children's show, kids, when like, for example, if a little kid sees their dad killing a spider, I killed that spider's gone, there's no life left of it.
Yeah, he destroyed it real good.
Yeah, it's like you don't hear the dad going, I destroyed that spider.
That is exactly my point.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
even though it's the same thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Kids see that a life has ended. They're like, holy crap, that's there. On a cartoon, hearing somebody say they got killed.
Mm-hmm. When the person got killed. Right. Yeah, that's the word for it. That's my point. It's the word for it. It just that's just so nuts to me. Well, I mean, what happens when you destroy a bridge? It's gone. What happens when you destroy a spider? It's gone.
But it's a live thing versus a non-living thing.
I killed the bridge. I killed the spider. Okay, so you destroyed somebody. So, well, you blew that person's legs out from underneath them until they collapsed into a large jumbled pile of parts. That actually sounds more horrific to me than just killing the person.
Well, like I said, it's to me it's more intent because destroy doesn't have the connotation as kill. From a children's.
I never thought so, even as a child.
I did. I mean, 'cause it's like you didn't hardly hear the word kill unless it was something extremely serious, but you heard destroy all the time because, yeah, I mean, and even with destroy, it was more of a threat to destroy, not an actual "I'm going to destroy you." It was like an empty threat. I mean, to have somebody say "I'm going to kill you," you're like, "Holy crap, that's serious." I mean, it's a little dark for you. Like when we were watching Kung Fu Panda at 2 yesterday again, and I'm going to just kill him, and dude was like, he was this friggin' genocidal psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
yeah, and like
and it was the correct use of the word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He meant what he already proved that he would do it, and he was going to do it. And so I'm like, that's what needed to happen. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that say it depends on your target audience and the seriousness versus the goofiness of the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've got a you know, poopy, giggly, silly 2-year-old show, well, it's probably not going to have people killing each other in it. But if you clearly have visions of Escaflowne, clearly people are killing each other, and for them to go, "I will destroy you," or Dragon Ball Z, where people are blowing up planets with whole populaces on it, "I will destroy them." It's like, yeah, you just committed genocide, dude. You know, you killed them. For them to go, "I will destroy you," it's like, fine, but why don't you just use the real word? There's no difference there. It means in this context, it's the same thing. And I just always thought that was weird that they do that to kids, you know, kind of go in and sort of euphemistically screw with them. What's a different word? It's okay. It means the same thing, but it's okay. It's a different word. I'm like, it's weird to me.
Okay. I was actually reading up on a word blog, and they were talking about decimate, the word decimate.
It's a weird
And-
one to use on people.
And there was a back and forth going as to the literal use versus the way it's being used in more modern times, and
Yeah, because we're using it wrong.
that's the thing. It's like there are now quote unquote writing rules that are coming up saying that the way it's being used now is acceptable, meaning when
It doesn't make sense.
decimated,
It's wrong.
Versus
We
the
were
literal.
decimated. 10% of us was wiped out.
Yeah.
As opposed to the modern version, we were decimated. Everything was destroyed. Weird.
that-
So weird.
The modern version that I've heard was it's the opposite. When something was decimated, only 10% was left.
The original was Roman.
Yeah.
When they were punished,
Every 10th person.
every 10th person was killed. They were decimated. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we know. But yeah, it was an actual. So somebody actually brought that up to a writer, and a bunch of writers were chiming in with it, and everyone else was talking about it also, and it was actually a really good discussion.
Oh, sounds like it.
And they were like, okay, so what is the proper use for it? And there were people on the like when something's decimated, that means that 10% of it was gone, was destroyed and all. And then there were the people who were the modern day uses of, well, 10% meant that it wasn't it was a monumental amount of damage. It was
10%. That's pretty monumental.
yeah, but the way there's it's basically becoming a cover-all word. If something was decimated, that means that something bad happened. And like I was saying, there's also people who use it with the fact of, well, there was so much damage, but only 10% of stuff was left. And exactly.
But it's the wrong word.
Like I said, it was a going back and forth with it. So I thought it was an interesting side.
Sure,
my love of words and
Sure.
etymology and all that.
But the people trying to modernize the word are incorrect. You don't go and say, see that red apple over there? Oh, the one that's the same color as the sky? No, red is red. It's not blue. You don't change the meaning of a word. It's just,
Words change meaning all the time.
and you shouldn't do that.
I mean, how many different descriptions are for various words? I mean, Japan is famous for that. And
Yeah,
we're
but they're
too far
not.
behind.
But they're not taking the word for cat and making it the word for go jogging. It's just you don't do that. You look at an ancient text and go, I don't understand what's being said here.
But you take the slang for cat, and that completely.
Sure. Well, that's slang. That's different. Slang is different. But it's when you go like, well, look, it says right here, Caesar's forces were decimated. That means there's almost nothing left. And then you go and as you're reading the history, you're like, well, how's he doing all this stuff with his decimated forces? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't decimate mean only 10% was left? That's what it means. You can't change the meaning of the words because the old text ceased to make sense. Well, no, he had 90% of his forces left because he decimated them. Wait a minute. He decimated his own forces? Yes. It's a punishment. It's okay. No, it's not.
I think one of my favorite words, like, because I was doing a little word, I like doing word gigs in my head just to keep my brain going,
Sure.
to stop the madness from setting in. Words that sound worse than what they are, like gruntled, is like the opposite of disgruntled. Gruntled means happy, content.
It's so messed
Yeah.
up. It's one of my favorites. You're like, what? Dude, he's gruntled. It sounds awful.
Yeah.
Just gruntled that guy.
I was completely gruntled.
What?
Wait, what?
Why would you do that? That sounds awful.
But I absolutely love that word just because it just sounds horrible.
It does. It sounds absolutely terrible.
Because it's funny because gruntled sounds worse than disgruntled.
Sure. I'm trying to remember, is there actually a word whelmed? You know, overwhelmed, underwhelmed, whelmed. I'm trying to remember. Is it that there actually is a word for that? Because it seems to me that there would be, but I can't recall.
Well, I know that was one of the ongoing jokes in Young Justice.
Yeah, which is where I got that from. I was always like, yeah, what the heck?
Whelmed.
I'm just whelmed. Got that right, Robin.
And then I like how everyone else started doing because they were like, wait, what? And then afterwards, like, man, that was totally whelmed.
I miss Young Justice. I need to see the new stuff.
Oh yeah, we can do the week-long free preview and then get and binge it and then get rid of it. That was such a good show. Speaking of stuff I was surprised they got away with. But yeah, that show was way ahead of its time.
Well, I just thought it was so funny and I'm not judging anybody's favorite shows. I firmly believe there needs to be a variety of shows. It's just that after Young Justice, a lot of the superhero shows went a dumb direction. Not all of them, but we went from like Justice League Unlimited, Young Justice. I mean, and I always thought that there should be the silly, wacky, goofy stuff, and there should be the serious stuff. But it just seemed that after Young Justice, the serious stuff it's not disappeared entirely, but it got pulled back pretty hard. And I really enjoyed Young Justice.
Well, again, not the fault of the creators. It's the networks just didn't know how to market it, and then when it did
Then get rid of the
marketed,
executives.
Yeah, when it did get marketed, they were angry because it was, in their eyes, well, it's getting the wrong demographic is enjoying this, and it was really,
It doesn't matter.
It was really bizarre because they're like, well, girls don't buy action figures. Bull crap, first of all.
Bull.
And second of all, well, if girls don't buy action figures, make products that girls buy.
Yeah, it really is simple.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, I mean, it was.
Just make money. You don't have to make money in a specific way. Just make money.
Yeah, and,
All that matters is the green coming in. That's all that matters.
and on top of that, when they did make action figures, from what I understand, they were pretty crappy.
I heard they were terrible.
Yeah, that and I think some of the Thundercat figures when Thundercats was out there, the 2011 series, which was really good also.
I don't understand why it failed. We made the crappiest product possible.
Well, we made bad product, and then we just kept taking the show and just sticking it at weird times when nobody knew what was on. So I
It
have
should
no
have
idea.
worked.
But yeah, with
All right.
with Thundercats, was it Thundercats or was it Young Justice? It was one of the shows where they were selling the action figures in 2-packs instead of selling them singles, and so it's like, okay, I can understand why sometimes companies do that, but if you're going to do that, pair them up with characters that people want, and that was one of the things that a lot of companies, when they do make dual packs of action figures, they make the ones that they know that kids aren't going to want, but they put them with the ones that kids will want.
Could you grab me a...
Oh yeah. Do you have any over there?
No, I must have used my spare last time.
So do you have didn't you have like a plastic tube of them somewhere?
Yeah, it's...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna give you one of mine real quick.
Okay, well, whatever. Eraser's an eraser to me. Ah, perfect. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome. Excuse me. Fit. Maybe a different size. Let me check.
It is a slightly different size. Yeah, could you get me one of mine?
I'll grab one.
Wow, I thought that was the same kind. It's not.
What, I'm sorry?
I thought it was the same size. It's not.
Yeah,
Look at that.
yeah, different brands. So I'll grab one.
Cool. Taking a pause. There you go. That's the one.
Riveting entertainment, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. Thank you very much. And I will grab that one right there. Boom.
So the extra one.
Yeah. There's yours.
Thank you.
There we are. I'm sorry, what?
They should have made the net a hammer.
I was actually thinking about it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm talking, and I'm surprised I'm sketching this well while I'm talking, so I didn't want to overthink it. just took the entire tip right off that eraser.
Just a tip.
Well.
Mommy, what does that mean?
Well, they're at a restaurant there. They're leaving a tip. No, shut that channel.
Idiot big brother. Idiot brother comes in. Hey, it's about a penis. Dang it, Junior.
There we go.
There's our bells, 3 minutes early. I like how when we had the daylight savings time switch, they didn't even bother to even set it properly. I'm just like, eh.
Whatevs.
Yeah, and by the end of the year, it's gonna be like 6 minutes early. It's like, I don't know what it is that where do they set their clock from or so. But at the beginning of the year, usually it's on time with the atomic clocks and stuff. And then just throughout the year, it just slowly goes to like 1 minute off, 2 minutes off, and it's 3 minutes off, which is usually it's about the right
Set
time.
to Jesus time.
Jesus is 3 minutes early.
I guess.
Well, there's an old gospel song that says he may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. I know. With Animaniacs coming back, we're gonna actually get some actual like Animaniacs figures and toys. I mean, 'cause there was a bit of merch when it was originally out.
I don't remember there being a ton, just a little.
Yeah, a lot of it was within the Warner Brothers store when that was still alive. Yeah, one of my favorite shirts. I don't wear it now because I don't want to wreck it. Was this great shirt I got from Spencer's, well, which it's still going, but back in the day, Spencer's was awesome. It has the Animaniacs standing in front of Mount Rushmore, and they have power like a jackhammer, like a.
I remember that.
Yeah, and they carved their faces into Mount Rushmore, and George Washington just has this like scared, surprised look as the Animaniacs are next to him and all that. And then the three of them they're screen printed in front of Mount Rushmore with these proud faces with all of these power tools standing like hiding behind their backs. Like I love that shirt, and like I would wear it all the time, and cause I don't wear it now because I want to keep it as in good condition as it is. Because I mean, for a 20 plus year old shirt, it
Sure.
still looks really good. And I don't want to screw that up. But yeah, that and then I have a Animaniacs backpack which I found on the Warner Brothers website, and I got that a few months ago actually. Because they're like, okay, here it is, and then I'm like, well, you know what? Like that's cute. It's a really neat design. Like, I'm gonna wait for it. Like, you know what? Every time I say I'm gonna wait for it, when I come back, it's gone. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna grab it. So I did, and
So it did.
yeah, so it did. And then the next day they were sold out. So I'm like, yay! I'm glad I pulled the trigger on that one. So I've just been that one's gonna replace my Wonder Woman bag, I think, once we're allowed to go back outside again. I have to see, because sadly enough, you know me being a bag connoisseur, when they make backpacks like that, they only make it with like 2 pockets, the back zip pocket and then the main pocket itself. I was like, if you're gonna have a backpack, you need like multiple pockets, which I can put all my stuff in and know where things are, and like don't just do like one giant shove everything in and you can't find it. But again, I like pockets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fun. Nice.
That's not bad. I think I could have pushed the hair a little further. Yeah, I could have probably taken it out to there. Oh well.
Yeah.
Good enough. It's a sketch. It's a sketch.
Yeah, 'cause you went longer than you normally do, so. So you went longer than you normally do.
Well, I'm trying to do a little bit more than just faces. I enjoy doing the faces, but I should probably do a little bit more. So, all right. So we have 2 characters facing each other in my sketchbook. And actually, as couples go, this isn't too bad. We've had some really appalling couples. Hello, nurse. Mentalk the Mind Taker. Here you go. Your eternal kiss sealed together in my sketchbook. Eternally. Forever. Oh, that's sudden.
I'm gonna have thoughts about that.
Good, bad, doesn't matter. Gonna have thoughts. Shaking the bones, see if I can get this in one shot. All right. Can I do it? Can I do it? Oh, it's not even close. Not even close. Oh, I suck. All right, get in there.
You suck, Waylon.
I know. I know. It's just dreadful. It's just a whole horrific situation in there.
You and the coffee makers taped off that shit.
I know. Oh. Oh. There we go. All right. Made it work. Made it work. All right, everyone, have yourself a good week. We will catch